what you want? We've been waiting for a long time to talk about family, finances, and your future. You're rocking with your host, Dondrea Brown. Count the cost. Let's go.
Hey y'all, this is Dondrea Brown back with the Count the Cost podcast. We've been having an amazing season, bringing some heavy hitters, some people with some really good knowledge, and they've been dropping gems, y'all. So this one is the last one for the year. No pressure, but I had to bring the big man in to do his thing. Mr. Daryle, you want to introduce yourself, sir?
I am Daryle Rostic. I am the owner of two community service companies. Rostic Arms is a firearms manufacturing company, and SmartShooters is a firearms education company. And I'm just here to serve my community, man.
Hey, y'all. The Count the Cost podcast is sponsored by Young Money Finance. That's a local nonprofit in Grand Rapids, Michigan, providing youth financial literacy. If you're interested in learning more about them, go to www.ymfgr.org. Again, www.ymfgr.org. So thank you for coming in. You see how cool he is. He's just so cool and laid back. But I know that's not all of him. So we're going to bring him out during this podcast.
We gonna see.
By having some good discussions. So one of the reasons why, and I can be, super transparent and honest of why I brought him in is because I've been watching him from afar on Facebook, just all the different aspects of his life. First and foremost, he's a father.
Absolutely.
He's a businessman. He's a husband. Man of God. We actually had touched base and seen each other a couple years ago when I was at another church, the Revolution Movement.
Yeah.
And even from there, like, he was super dope. So it's ironic that we get this full circle moment and being able to come back and share some chairs and some conversation. But I want to kick it off with, telling us more about yourself. Like, what defines you? Who are you?
So I am a Grand Rapids native, born here, raised here. I am a huge advocate for I don't have to leave here to blow. I can go global from here. I don't have to leave.
That's facts.
I grew up. I feel like I've touched every kind of facet of life. Grew up below the poverty line.
Yeah.
Grew up with the roughnecks, as they called them, the hoodlums or whatever. I grew up on a certain side of the tracks, and we had reputations for things, and then I found God, and then I started doing other things, and I'm really just somebody who's all about people, man. Like, that's the only way I know how to describe. I know God put me here to serve people, and so I'm just trying to find the ways to do that the most effectively. You know what I mean? And when you do it effectively, then things like your living and stuff, you don't have to worry about it, because
that's facts.
God will always take care of you for taking care of his. So
ooh, okay. So you starting off dropping gems. All right, so I appreciate it. So going back real quick, because one of the things I did notice and I appreciate on your Facebook is like you're forward facing with family. First of all, I didn't know you had that many brothers.
Oh yeah, it's a lot.
And it's like y'all a security team. I was like, okay.
Yeah,
and are you the youngest?
No, I'm like the third from youngest, but I'm in the babies. I would probably say over 20 siblings.
Okay.
Blood siblings, but
that's real.
Yeah, I'm one of the youngest.
Okay.
And I act like it sometimes.
So tell me what keeps that connection with your siblings so strong, because I can see it.
Yeah. Honestly, we just been through a lot, man. We've been through a lot. A lot of my brothers been incarcerated for years. The one thing that always draws us together is we just trying to figure it out.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? It don't matter what one of us is going through. If somebody else got something going, pull them in.
Yeah.
Like, let's figure out how to make everybody eat, stand strong. And, man, we getting older, bro. We done did a lot. You know what I mean?
Ooh, yes.
Streets ain't cool when you in your 30s and 40s, man. So, yeah, we slowing down a little bit and realizing, like, there's more to life than that.
Yeah, and that's real. Like, even in this community, when I chose to move here a couple years ago, I started engaging with our youth. And one of the things I quickly needed to recognize was, like, what got me here isn't going to get me to the next level, next step.
Yeah.
I used to be quick triggered. Looking back at, how I've lived life, I'm like, man, that's crazy. I'm still alive.
Yeah.
Like, it's so crazy, but also, like you said, in a sense, like, you're also thankful and blessed. Like, I'm in this space and really starting to help the youth get it.
Absolutely.
So, speaking of that, like, how do you help youth, understand, appreciate, like, where they are, but also where they can go?
Man, and that's probably the coolest part of what I do with Smart Shooters is kids are into guns, right? Whether you want to admit it or not. Between Call of Duty and the video games, Fortnite,
water guns, like
every rap video, every movie, like kids are into guns, and if you don't educate them, somebody will.
It's facts.
And that's probably the dopest part of what I get to do is I get to go to the community and I get to teach them the right way. I get to show them something different,
right?
And get those questions out of the way. Because once you take that curiosity out of the way, you really don't have incidents after that. It's really when they're curious and you just tell them no and don't educate them. So then they go to their friend who educates them. Yep. And now that's their knowledge. You know what I mean? And so I'm real big into the youth, man. If people who know me from Revolution, I was a youth teacher.
Yes.
I did youth security.
You taught my daughter.
Yeah, man. I love kids. My mom was a youth teacher. My dad was a youth pastor at one point. Like, I love kids.
Yeah.
And so being able to teach them in the space, and I'm still young enough, where I'm relatable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's not like I'm the when we was out there was the don't do drugs guys, the dares, the moms against drugs.
Yep.
And I was like, man, y'all don't know what y'all talking about. Y'all broke. Like, you know what I mean? But now, because kids look at stuff like that.
Facts.
You come to the hood and you got on a suit or whatever, man, they don't want to hear what you talking about. But we still relevant enough now, and I feel like I'm getting older and losing it. But I feel like I'm still relevant enough where I could go like to my old hood, or I could go to a school with a group of kids, and they respect what I'm saying, and they understand that I understand what they going through.
That's facts.
So, man, that is my biggest life's joy, man. Working with kids, helping them understand one costly mistake with a gun now could cost you so much in your future, like. You know what I mean? Like, I love kids, man, and just helping them, trying to protect them from the stuff we went through.
Yeah. Like, my nephew, he moved here a couple years ago, and within the first year here moving here, his best friend got shot because somebody's playing with a gun in the next room. Yeah, so I definitely believe, like, education will definitely impact preparation, impact decision making, all those other things. But let's talk Rostic Arms a little more. What led to you having the passion and the will to push through with this type of work?
Man, so it started with Smart Shooters. So I was teaching these classes, and I'm teaching people the laws. I'm teaching people how to handle firearms. And then I would go with them to gun stores and kind of coach them through what to buy.
Right.
And I'm just like, yo, all these guns is just people's last names. I'm like, why can't I have one?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it was bothering me, because then I'm like, I'm already taking them to the store, giving them the money.
Right.
That money ain't going to circulate back in my community.
Oh, that's facts.
And then we spending money with people who don't look like us, who Glock, Sig, Smith & Wesson, those are all people last names who don't look like us.
That's crazy.
And we just running around representing that. I was like, man, it's got to be a way. It's got to be a way. You can't convince me that I can't do it. And so I worked in manufacturing for probably about 14 years and some change. I worked at Amway, Steelcase, Herman Miller, worked my way up from skid loading all the way up to operations manager. And so I'm like, I have the manufacturing background.
Right.
I know what it takes. I just have to figure out legally, what do I need to do?
Right.
And so I did some research. I hooked up with some guys who already do it. I went and spent a bunch of money with them. So key game, if somebody do what you want to do, go spend some money with them.
Did y'all hear that? Hold on. Can you say that one more time? Go ahead.
Somebody does what you're trying to do. Find a way to go spend some money with them. So there was my mentor now. He's owned a gun store, manufacturing company, had all the licenses, everything. Before I ever approached it, I made sure to spend like $5,000 every day. I was at his shop, just buying stuff I didn't even need.
Yeah,
because I had to get his attention. Once I got his attention, and he was just like, "You in here a lot. Like, what you trying to do?" I'm glad you asked. You know what I mean? And so he really kind of took me under his wing and just showed me like everything I needed to know. So from there, I was like, "Yeah, I'm on." And I'm talking about I was spending my life, bro. Like I have $40 in spending money. I was in this store trying to figure out what costs $32 plus tax. Here go my last 40. I just need you to see me up in here every day. I'm gonna just talk to you every day. And so, you know, once I got his attention, he schooled me on some stuff, and then, I mean, I just got into it, bro. I jumped knee deep into it. I went broke twice because entrepreneurship ain't for the weak.
Facts.
But, you know, I feel like I got my footing now, so we on.
Well, the dope thing, and I hope that y'all literally like listen to the steps. Like, let's subtract business and all that name, like, but the steps. What he essentially said was he invested in someone so that they can invest in him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? Because it comes down to you got to spend money to make money. That's it. Right? And I think for many of us, we have that fear of investing and spending money from an entrepreneurial lens because we'll spend it somewhere else.
Right.
But for education and mentorship, we just think that that's supposed to be free.
Bruh. I could write a whole book. We could be here all day. If I showed you the DMs of people, we brothers, you supposed to show me how to do this. We black, you supposed to tell me. You gatekeeping. And it's like, no, bro. Yeah. There's a process to all of this.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because if that was the case, I tell you what, my very first business endeavor, I made shoes, right? I had Italian sneakers. I found a manufacturer. I was making these sneakers. And people was mad at me because I wasn't telling them how and my manufacturer and how did I get in touch with them and the contact. They was mad at me, but I'm like, I'm not even the best. If you want to know how to make shoes, call Nike.
Oh.
But you're not going to call Nike and demand them to teach you how to make a shoe.
Facts.
You're not going to call Gucci and demand for them to teach. So why?
But they'll buy from them.
All day. So you don't have my shoe, but you want me to teach you how to make a shoe.
Ooh.
You know what I mean? Like, so this Rostic Arms is that on another level.
He warmed up, y'all. Y'all hear he warmed up now. See, it got louder. But no, I really appreciate that transparency because we're walking into, well, I feel like we're running into 2025. And for us, I feel like it's been a hard reset because so much has happened the last 4 years, the last 8 years. We had stimmies. A lot of people blew them.
Crazy.
We had opportunities to invest in things like crypto, new up and coming things. Some people blew it. PPP loans. So there was so many different opportunities. But now we're walking into 2025 with the what now, what next mentality. And I think one of the messages that you've said already, because I know you're about to drop more gems, is like, this is the 2025 is the year to start to invest your best, right? Invest in people. And it's not only money. He actually showed up, right? Because, of course, you know, you spend some money. But the fact that you went into that space, that also gets people attention. Man, he always here.
Exactly.
And then he turned him into a mentor.
Yeah.
Right? Talk to me about the power of mentorship.
Man, bro, it's critical. Man, there's so many mentors that have poured into my life.
You can name drop here.
Yeah,
go ahead. Y'all about to say name drop.
Stan Schlar,
shout out
to, Chris Mathis.
Chris.
Shout out my guy Steve. Like, there's so many people who just pour into my life, man. And shout out my pastor, Jerome Glenn. Glenn.
Shout out,
still
pastor.
My pastor, still checking in, still making sure I'm on the course.
Yes,
like,
sir.
Listen, it's so many people, and as black men, as a black community, the number one issue that I feel that we have is fatherhood issues.
Ooh.
There's so many things that I haven't had to deal with because I had my dad.
Right.
that my friends struggle with on a daily basis because they never had a dad.
That's facts.
And the biggest one is identity, right? My dad taught me who I was, and so because I know who I am, I know who I'm not.
Hold on real quick.
I don't even
Hold on, y'all. So we don't script these podcasts. And
No,
so
not at
far
all.
we've had all black men in here. And y'all have literally said the same thing.
I'm telling you, bro.
The same
telling
thing.
you, bro. And that's the power of mentorship, because mentorship, although it doesn't give you full fatherhood, it gives you what's the next closest thing.
Facts.
And and you need that. Like it's so underrated how strong that presence is of somebody to guide and show you the way. Like, shout out to my dad, man, because my dad, like I said, the number one
Shout
thing
out,
he
Pops.
taught me is who I am. Because when you know who you are, you know who you not. So there are things that I don't even fall for because I'm like, that's not me.
That's not you.
You know what I mean? Like, even a lot of people was tough. I had my moments in my years where I was tough, but I'm like, that's not me, man. I just want to be cool and make some money, man. I'm tired of knocking people over at the bar. And, you know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna be transparent.
That's
Like,
real.
I had it, man. I had the moments in them years where I was just like, but that ain't, you know what I mean? That's cool. I'm cool. I'm laid back. I like making money. I like giving game to especially the young people that's coming. Shout out to the guys that I mentor. Shout out my guy Johnny, man. Johnny came to me and literally was just like, I just want to do what you do. Right. I said, well, the best way you can learn is just find where you fit in. I'm not even going to tell you what you can do. You look at what I got going on and tell me what value you can add.
Helping him develop his identity.
You know what I'm saying? So now he like, man, I can find business. I can find sales.
Yeah.
Well, you find sales, and now now he's the sales consultant. Johnny will go find me. I'd be like, man, it was a slow day. He'd be like, I'll call you right back. And he'd go find 3 people. He like, okay, so where you want to meet him at? Like,
shout out to Johnny. Shout
out to my guy Johnny, man. But that's, the power of mentorship. He see me in my circle. He like, man, y'all hustlers, y'all did it, and y'all doing it legally. Like, I want to be a part of that. Well, come on, like, figure out where you add value. Because it's not about money. Like, I gave the example with my mentor spending money. It's really about figuring out where you add value, right? Because I also was bringing people to his shop. I was bringing them business, you know what I mean? Like, I remember one time he was looking for something specific, and he couldn't find it. And I went home and scrubbed every resource on the internet, found one, and just popped up with it. Like, you know
when
what
you
I mean?
pour into others, right, it just makes sense.
Bro,
that somebody's going to pour into you. It may not have to be that person, but it's like we know these things, but we lack this either fear, we've been hurt in the past, we lack faith, trust. There are all these barriers and factors, but literally, like, talking to you and hearing your story, I've heard you mention a few businesses before you start talking about these, right?
Yeah.
So how many businesses have you had?
Man, what? Listen, this is something that Jermone Glenn taught me. If we gonna fail, we gonna fail. It's gonna be the most epic fail, man. And so, because I hate when people be like, oh, there's no such thing as losses. You either win or you learn. I do a profit and loss statement. There are losses, okay?
Hey,
there's some losses, brother.
According to my P&L statement.
Yeah, there's some losses, okay? So I had a Italian sneaker company. I had a clothing line that did decent. I had a screen print and embroidery company that failed with a capital FANI and L. Right? It didn't. I mean, and I was able to sell it, so it wasn't like it was a complete loss.
Right.
But it was like I failed at it. Like it didn't do what I set out for it to do.
Right.
And that's my definition of failure. You didn't hit what you set out to hit.
Yeah.
That don't mean that I'm a loser and I don't,
That's real.
What was it Kevin O'Leary said he wouldn't even invest in a business if they haven't failed a couple times. You know what I mean? Like, so thinking your first business is going to be, I was going to be the Black Gucci. When I found out how to make Italian shoes, I said, oh, we own, baby. We own. I'm finna be what? I was going downtown looking for boutique spaces, and I'm like, I'm gonna be on Monroe Center. I'm gonna be right downtown, and people gonna come in here. I'm gonna find people to make chinchillas and leather jackets, and I found all these manufacturers, except no sales was coming in. So I had all this knowledge and all this wisdom with no money, and I couldn't figure it out. And then my homegirl, shout out Tara Jones, I'm a name drop, Your Pretty Pennies. She was like, bro, Tara, people don't want them. And I was like, what you mean? She said, for what people want, they will overdraft bank accounts. They will max out credit cards. If they want, when them Jordans drop, you know they want them because they will be late on the rent to make sure they got them. Woo, so if they not buying them, they don't want them.
That's true.
I said. But, and I love Tara. She been my sister since, like, we been building and we got a dope relationship. And it was just dope for somebody to give me that hard feedback, right? Like, and so that led me to my marketing mind of saying, okay, I either have to make people want it,
right,
or I got to sell what people want. That's how I transitioned to the T-shirts and stuff, because I was like, everybody buy T-shirts. Everybody want T-shirts. And then in a month of slanging T-shirts, I made what I made in my whole career of selling shoes. Dang. So I was like,
just leveling up.
Man, you got to learn. It's okay to fail and be like, oh, that didn't work.
Right.
That didn't work. And I don't mind being laughed at in public. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people, they scared of the embarrassment.
That's facts.
They scared of people's opinions. They scared. So many people, your T-shirt business is doing great. Why would you start selling guns? Why would you start? They don't know, in a weekend of selling guns, I made a month of selling T-shirts. They don't know that in the pandemic, the governor shut down non-essential businesses, and so I couldn't make T-shirts. That's the only reason I transitioned to guns. Facts. Because guns were what I was into that was essential. And I was like, I need a business nobody could shut down.
That's facts.
Or if they shut it down, people gonna riot. You can't shut down a gun store because of COVID.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? Like, I was being strategic, but I had to be cool with being laughed at in public. I had to be cool. I remember I was on the call with Chris Mathis, and I was teaching classes and stuff was going good. And I was like, yeah, and I'm about to start making rifles. And he was like, what? I was like, yeah, I got my license or whatever. I'm about to start making guns because I won't. He was like, in the history of knowing you, I ain't never heard you talk about making no rifle. I was like, I know. It was one of them secret dreams that I kept to my chest. Facts. Right? So some people could have been discouraged because this is a business mentor.
Right.
And he ain't doing nothing wrong. He just like, hey, wait a minute. You got something that's working. Why you finna go dump the money somewhere else?
Facts.
But it was a secret passion that I had that I was just like, hey, listen, this is working. I know this money ain't gonna last forever. I know people PPP loans finna run out. I know people stimulus checks finna get spent.
That's fact.
That is why I started Rostic on 2022. This is when the money started running out. I said, before people run out of money, I'm gonna run as many classes as I can, stack as much as I can.
Right.
And I'm gonna invest it all into this because this is what I could do for the rest of my life.
Facts.
That I could be happy even if I never made a dime.
Right.
Making rifles, teaching people about guns, helping them understand the best options for home protection, helping them get rid of the stereotypes and stigmas that come with guns in the Black community, helping them understand that it's okay to have your 6-year-old out hunting with you. It's okay to take your 13-year-old to the gun range and teach them gun safety.
Right.
I had to do it, man. Like, I had to do it.
So, again, hopefully y'all listening, because the amount of gems he just dropped, I think the biggest one I took away from it is, as an entrepreneur, you are in control of what your passion is.
Man.
Even if it changes, right? Even if the projects change, no matter how many, because I remember when I first jumped into entrepreneurship, I kind of treated it like going to college, where you get that major, and even if you kind of doubting it, you just got to make the major work. Like, oh, I wanted to be in political science, I'm just going to keep making. What he's basically saying is, no, I had to keep climbing up these businesses, having these experiences, leveling up, having people give me feedback to where I'm in a space now where I'm more confident, comfortable. I have my identity attached to my business. Once that happens, like, everything unlocks itself.
Bro, everything.
This is how I do it. When I first started teaching finance, I used to wear suits. People looking at me like that's not you. And I knew it wasn't me, but I'm like, the only people I know teaching finance is wear suits. So once I got into my passion, my identity linked with that, I'm like, man, I'm about to teach it from a real perspective. Yeah. We gonna talk about why we broke in this community. Like, let's be real about it. We ain't gonna sugarcoat it. Right. We ain't gonna use these certain templates. I'm gonna build everything from scratch. I'm gonna talk about my experiences first and foremost, the things I've learned. So I think it's really dope that you're being honest and transparent about, you know, the process. Let's shift and pivot a little bit and talk about our community as a whole. Like, what are some like key challenges you think our community faces in being successful?
The first one I would say is believing that we all deserve it, right? One of my favorite things I ever heard Les Brown say was the easiest thing he did was make $1 million. The hardest thing he ever did was believe he was worthy of making $1 million. And so I feel like a lot of us feel like, I mean, because I felt like that for years, like just growing up or whatever. I'm like, I'm supposed to be in the trenches. Like, this is my life. Right. My life is going to work or hustling or whatever, getting fly on the weekend, hit the club, buy bottles, whatever. You go back to work Monday morning, do it all over again. Like, I really thought that was life. Yeah. And I feel like it really takes exposure. Jermone Glenn, shout out to you again. Exposure, because he taught me a lesson, right? He had a really dope, he had the electric Cadillac when it first came out, the ELR. And we was outside of Bible study one night, and this is me fresh off the streets too, like I'm trying to get my life right, whatever. And I'm telling him like, yo, you got the Batmobile, this is my code. So the car pull up and he like, drive it. I was like, what? He's like, get in, I got time. Oh, and I'm thinking he want me to ride in the passenger seat with him or whatever. He was like, the key inside, like, go. And he was like, and don't baby it, like, floor it. And I was like, yo.
I'm going.
So I'm all in the parking lot. I'm whipping it. Boy.
You came back, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I came back. But I'm whipping this thing because I ain't never been in nothing like that. That was the first experience like that. You know what I'm saying? I pull back up, and I'm just like, yo, thank you. And he was like, and you'll have one soon. I was like, why? Why you say that? Like, he was like, exposure raises your expectations. The more you exposed to, the more you can expect out of life. The more I can go ask God for, because you can't operate from a place you don't know. You need the exposure so you can raise your expectations of what's possible in life.
He gonna say that again. Say it one more time.
Man, exposure raises expectations, man. That is one of the key things that I learned. That's why I love JG, man. Like, he is a beyond a pastor, a mentor, a real friend. But that was probably the most critical thing he ever taught me, was like, because then I was like, oh, so if I want to know what life is like, I have to expose myself to more. So then me and my wife would just start doing stuff like get on Google. Oh, this country club got a brunch. It's open to the public. Let's go. You know what I mean? Now we up in there. I'm in there like, bruh, all the prime rib is rare. All these people dressed weird. They all got Eddie Bauer vests on and thermal shirts, and I'm in here in a Nike sweatsuit. But at the end of the day, I was exposing myself to atmospheres. I was meeting people, people that I'm still friends with now. And it was like, now I'm like an exposure addict. Like, me, I'm always trying to show my wife and my kids new stuff. I'm like, we need to go learn something. Yeah. We need to go see something. We need to whatever. I used to hate traveling. Then my wife started taking me places. I'm like, bro, exposure. Here I am in Grand Rapids, Michigan, looking at the one guy who got a Lamborghini flying around. Then you go to Miami and everybody's got a Lamborghini. I don't even care if it's rented. I'm like, yo. Then she took me to the dealership in Miami, and I found out I can't even fit in the Lamborghini. I was like, bruh. Door was smashing all on my love handle. But, bro, just imagine if I would have just pursued my dream and bought a Lambo and found out then that I couldn't fit in it.
Hey, that's
Bro, that exposure be necessary, bro. But I can't. Listen, if you over 6'2", if you over 6'2" and you over 220, you're not fitting in a Lamborghini.
Oh my God, that was good,
bro. Listen, but I'm telling you, exposure, bro. It was something that I had pictures of this Lamborghini Aventador on my wall. It was my screensaver. I got down to Miami and couldn't get in it. I said, so the whole time I'm striving for something that don't even make sense for me.
God, that's
bro, it's a dream, but it was funny, bro. I'm talking about,
that's good.
And my man knew it too. He at the dealership. He was just like, go ahead. And I'm sitting there like, can I drive it? Yeah, I get you the keys.
Oh my
bro,
God.
the whole time he let me go through all the motions. I'm riding, I'm taking pictures with it. My wife like, yeah, we about to capture this moment. The moment I think I'm finna take this Lambo for a spin, first of all, the floor of the Lambo is down here, so it's a go-kart. But then when I tried that door in the air, I tried to shut it. Boop, boop, boop. Bro, I was crying.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, I was crying. But it was the dope part after me and my wife got done laughing, because we was crying how you was crying. Like, I'm on the floor in the Lambo dealer crying. The salesman is laughing. We all having a good time. What it taught me, though, is if I don't go learn about the things that I'm pursuing,
right,
I may get it and it's not even for me. You know what I mean? So like when we got done laughing, we was like, man, God really just showed me something. Like,
right.
Here I was, I'm like, yo, I know I made it when I can buy this Lambo. $395,000. $400,000 and can't fit in it. Ooh, and don't let somebody have it next to me, because my arm was already all the way over here and I'm trying to shut the door. My legs is bent up in the steering wheel. Like, it was an experience, bro.
Well, exposure, I mean, like you're saying, is beyond key. I remember in 2007, I had the opportunity to travel to Ghana.
Okay.
My foster dad had always offered me opportunities to travel to places, and I'm like, no, I don't want to go. I want to stay with my friends, because he would travel everywhere because he was a pastor and do like mission work and all that stuff. And when I went to Ghana, I'll never forget it. My mentor at the time, he was my professor, Dr. Rutkoff. He was like, you'll make a good teacher. And I'm like, teacher? I want to be a police officer, a lawyer. You know, I used to watch Cops, all this other stuff. But then being in Ghana and being exposed there for a month and looking at how they value education. Yeah. I walk in there ready to teach. They're all sitting there. They're thirsty to learn. They want to continue to learn. I volunteered at the hospital, taught the elementary kids, all these things. I left with that seed planted that he was just like, you'll make a good teacher, which allowed me to reflect on my life and how I interacted with my family. I'm like, I've been trying to educate people ever since I could remember. Yeah. Like, I grew up in a household of 6 of us before I went to foster care, and we would always like try to figure out what we were doing in the house, because mom, you know, she did the best she could as a single mom and worked extremely hard. That's when, like, when you're talking about when there's 2 people in the household or even a father in itself, that adds value to the experience and the exposure. But then when I came back, you know, reflecting everything, I was like, dang, I would love to be a teacher because I just love teaching. Right. I just felt like I had to fit into all these different boxes. So I definitely think, or know, like, exposure is beyond important. So in 2025, one of the things that y'all should be looking for is like, what have I not exposed myself to? And that could be, you know, like you said, any of those experiences, but be open to the feedback that you receive through that exposure. Man, it may not be your fit, you know what I'm saying? Or you may be more knowledgeable of the steps that it takes to get there. And I think the dope thing about this conversation is you're transparent with the highs and the lows. Bro, because
it all matters, bro. Like, it all matters. Like, and I think that's what people try to say when they be like, ain't no losses, it's just lessons. I still hate that statement. There are losses. Okay. I've been a full-time entrepreneur for some years. There are losses.
That's facts.
But I think that's what they're trying to say, because even the lows, if you leverage them right, you do always learn something, man. Like, I'm so resourceful. I think it's Damon John got a book, The Power of Broke. Bro, you get so resourceful when you don't got money.
That's facts.
And shout out to Chris Mathis. Chris Mathis told me this when I was in Spring GR. I tried the Spring GR. I think it was cool. Yeah. But he told me money is not going to be your issue. when you got a solid business, money is not the issue.
Facts.
Everything else is your issue.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there with no money, which is like,
like what
bro, what are you talking about? Right? Like,
I
you know
need
what I mean?
money.
Like, I got, you know, I mean, I got some money, but the business ain't making it. I got to go to work every day.
Facts.
So I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Now that I'm in it, I realize when you have all your stuff together, investors will come. Angel investors will come.
Facts.
Banks will approach you. Your family and friends will be like, how do we invest?
Facts.
But it all is based on you making sure your ducks is in a row, making sure that you built something solid that shows value. And I wish I could tell people when we talk about what our whole community, you got to show value, man.
Yeah.
Like, everybody's valuable, but you have to figure out how to show the world your value. Because so many people, like when you think about it, if I brought you a t-shirt right now and it said, white boy wasted, that doesn't have any value to you as a black man, right?
Facts.
If I took the white boy off, it may have some value to you. If I put financial empowerment, that may have a lot of value to you. And it may not have as, like, you have to figure out the value and then push it to the people it's valuable to.
Right.
Instead of thinking that everybody's your customer, everybody should shop with you just because, everybody should support. Man, I went through that, bro. That support me, ain't nobody supporting me.
Yeah, I remember
When
that.
people say that, I be like, that's how I know your business slow, money slow. That's what that is. That's all that is, bro. You ain't got to sell in a couple weeks.
Yeah, and now you start to feel sour.
Bills coming up, you nervous. Like, that's all that's all them posts ever be. Y'all only support who's popular. Well, bro, if you just said the formula was popularity, go get popular. Because that's all I do. You can't open no platform and not see me.
That's facts.
You can't. I don't care what nobody think about it. I don't be on Facebook like that. I do. I don't be on social media.
Right.
I do.
Facts. Yeah.
You don't have to. But every time you open your phone and get on there, because I know that's where everybody's attention is.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you be there? Yeah. So then people who do what I do, they're like, oh, they only supporting Daryl. They only support who popular. Because I'm popular. I'm making myself that way. Ain't nothing special about me.
Yeah.
If you go by people's opinions, I shouldn't. Man, listen, I'm overweight. My front teeth is crooked. I shouldn't be on camera. I shouldn't be look, we're gonna be all the way transparent with it. I should not be on camera. I should not be in front of people talking to people. I came from the hood. I dropped out of college twice. I should not be educating people.
Facts.
But I don't care what nobody say.
Facts.
I'm finna do all that plus some.
Well, I loved your post because again, I watch people in this community because I admire their growth, their passion, all that stuff. Like, I've been watching you since I moved here from the beginning, and you posted the other day about like a high school post, bruh. And I called my boy and I said, I love this post. Tell us about it.
Cause, man, so somebody, you get word through the grapevine. Grand Rapids is a gossiping city, unfortunately. Somebody was hating, was like, man, Daryl sell guns. He wasn't even like that in high school. Like, he wasn't messing with no guns or whatever. Daryl was just cool. He was trying to stay out the way. Now he this and he that. And I was like, bruh, he talking about high school?
Facts.
I graduated in 2007. It's 2024. Bro, nothing about me is this. My pinky toe don't look the same. You know what I mean? Like, I get manicures and pedicures now. My pinky toe ain't the same.
That was good.
You know what I'm saying?
That was good.
Bro, but that's, people put you in these boxes, and that's why you can't worry about people's opinion. Like, I mean, people keep you in the box they knew you in. Especially if they lose access to you. That's what really happened is people lost access to me.
Facts.
Right? Like, once I got my life right with God, I completely left the streets, and I disappeared for like 3 years straight. So nobody had access to me.
Right.
Then I stopped hanging with certain people. So even now, it's hard to get a hold of me. It's by design. Right? So when people lose access to you, They keep, man, listen, I'm trying to tell you, can't be accessible to everybody.
Yeah, that's good.
When people lose access to you, they keep you in the box that they last had you in. Right? And I think that's just human psychology, right? You only know what you know. But most people aren't open to learning something new, so they keep you in that box. Mm-hmm. And so they like, oh, Daryle was this. Daryle, I heard when I was in high school, I was a bum. I ain't never had money. I used to wear the same shirts 2 days in a row, which I did. All the things, bro, like, let's talk about it. But if you knew me now, I could wear 2-3 shirts a day every day of the year and do it different.
Which
I could, man, bro, listen, we gonna be honest, because I was 17, bro, living in public housing. We was living in low income housing. My mom, for my whole stint of high school, had congestive heart failure. Yeah. I was going to school not knowing if my mom would even be alive when I got home. Wow. And people asking why I didn't iron my clothes, bro. I don't even know how to work the washer for real. I'm trying to survive while my mom and my dad is at the hospital trying to hope his wife don't die.
Right.
So me and my brother just trying to maintain.
Yeah.
So yeah, we got talked about. Yeah, stuff wasn't right. But boy, if you seen how I'm living now.
if you don't,
man, I'm trying to tell you. But it's like, people can keep me in that box because that's all they got access to. You only got access to 17-year-old Daryle. 36-year-old Daryle with 6-figure businesses that's doing great, that's got a wife that literally is made from my rib, that's got 3 beautiful children, one on the way to the NFL, the other ones is smart little geniuses, and I get to mold all of that. God trusts me with all of that. Plus being an influential person in my community, plus being able to go to schools and teach people. I'm working with the city of Wayland, trying to help them develop a gun safety curriculum for their schools. If you knew this version of me,
right,
man, bro, I could care less about what I was like back in the day.
That's fine.
I ain't the same as yesterday.
Okay, so I knew we just had to warm him up. He came in all quiet, like, am I talking loud enough?
Chill, man.
But he is dropping some gems. And again, this is what I love about, the opportunities we provide, because I'm learning so much and I always want to center myself in learning so much. And you have a amazing story. I think we can start to wrap up on this because I'm always intrigued on how people operate in this way. So you are a powerful, influential, and impactful person, but I know that doesn't go without support because you started to talk about it, right?
Yeah.
Talk to us about family support, specifically wife, kids. Like, how are they impacting and supporting this mission?
Bro, when I say it's all by design, you have to design it, right? Because some people will use that. I don't have a team. If only I had a team, bro, you have to design your team. The first thing I do is I found a good woman and I don't cheat.
That's right.
Because that cheating brings instability and you can't build a business with instability. You can't build life with instability.
Facts.
So my wife is my backbone. That's my rib. My wife learned graphic design because I started a t-shirt company, right? Like, I was like, man, I don't know how to, I'm stealing fonts off the internet. I don't know how to, you know what I mean? And she was like, I'll learn it. Wow. Then I'm in my screen print shop. It's 4 a.m. I'm like, I'm tired. I just need 2 hours of sleep, but we ain't gonna get this order done. She right there. Show me what to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, babe, man, I done ran out of money again. She's like, well, I got money, so you didn't run out of money. Right? Like, that level of partnership, like my wife is she's my business partner. That's my rock. Like, you know, I mean, she know that I would do whatever to take care of them. And so she does whatever to make sure that I'm able to do that.
Shout out to wifey.
Yeah, shout out to my baby. I love you, girl. I mean, even my kids, though. Like, my kids are my why. And knowing your why is everything. But, like, my kids, knowing that there's parts of my body that still hurt from working 14 years in a factory. Yeah. And knowing that they never gonna have to do that, like, that's what get me fired up every day. And not even because I'm gonna pass them the family business. Because if we honest, our kids probably don't want to do what we do.
Facts.
If we real honest about it, like that be sounding good. I used to work for Amway World Headquarters, and the DeVosses and the Van Andels always been CEOs and chairmen, and there never was anybody outside the family. Now Amway is on their second CEO that's outside the family because the kids and the grandkids, they don't want to do that. They don't want to sell you laundry soap. They don't want to sell you protein powder. They want to start art prize. They want to do things like that.
Facts.
So giving my kids the freedom from this to do whatever they see fit, that's
key.
what gets me.
That's freedom right there.
That's it, bro. That's
ability
it,
to choose.
Like, bro, because that's what our community doesn't have. We don't have the ability to choose, right? Technically, we do. And when we realize we do, things will change. But we're taught that we don't. Right. I was taught that I'm black. I'm going to always be poor. I'm from the hood. I'm going to always be in the hood.
Yep.
That's what I was taught.
Yep. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Nobody taught me you can start a manufacturing company. You don't just have to work for one. You can start one. Yeah. You know what I mean? Nobody taught us that. We had options. We could choose.
Yep.
If I can give my kids that, like, it's everything, bro. But, you know, as far as support systems and all of that, man, dude, you got to be your own support system. Because my wife wouldn't know what to do if I didn't have a direction. My kids wouldn't know what to do if I didn't lead. You know what I mean? So it's like, you have to get over the fact that it's true. Nobody believes in you. They don't. I'm going to look at the camera. Nobody believes in you. Nobody. When you start this, nobody believes in you. Your job is to make everybody believe in you. Like, it's okay. You want to start a business, you told your mama and she said, why on earth would you do that? Good. Show her why you would do it.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? You told your spouse, hey, I think I want to open up a little store. And she like, well, what money you got to do that? Good. Go show her what money you got to do that. Like,
facts.
I don't believe that you got to have all these people in the beginning around you supporting you because you're going to fail the first few times anyway. Don't waste your support on failure. Fail by yourself. So then when you get the support, it's for the good thing and not for the first thing.
So I feel like we was just rapping and he was just like, look, I'll take over the camera and just start dropping. Because again, like, no joke, like, he's taking everybody to class. And this ain't like trying to pump no heads up or nothing, because I'm feeling everything and like, damn, I've been in those spaces. I've navigated that. I remember my mindset was like that. I remember I had to switch. I remember family, like all these things is kind of like the formula to progress, because we're navigating uncharted territory. No matter who and what you are, you're not him, right? His family situation is set up differently. Like his finance, all these things are set up, but the process is what the process is. And the other thing that I just know and I can sense in you is like being able to take in feedback. You wouldn't have mentors in your life if you weren't able to take feedback.
What? And they be hitting you, bro. They be hitting you. Now, why did you post that? Go take that down. Why did you say that? Even if you felt that way, don't say that. People look up to you. I'll be like, all right, I got you. Like, you know what I mean? You got to take that feed. Or when you put something out and it suck, listen to the community. Look, I'm going to look at the camera. Listen to the people. They're going to tell you if your product is bad, and they're going to tell you what's wrong with it. If you sell pies and they like, bro, this pie is salty. Bro, there's no reason for a pie to be salty. Check
Don't
your
argue with
ingredients.
them, right?
Stop arguing. Yeah, bro, I know my sugar was good. No, you got it from Daily Deals. It's not good. Like, go get the premium sugar that's made for baking. You know what I mean? Like, they gonna give you, and no diss to Daily Deals. Shout out Daily Deals. I don't want nobody, cause you know what I'm saying? They'll see that, I'll be canceled. Listen, I'm not knocking nobody who shop at Daily Deals. All right. All I'm saying is, it may be you might have to step your ingredients up. Yeah. Something may be wrong with the packaging. Listen to the people. Let them tell you, cause they gonna tell you. Feedback is free. I'm telling you, as an entrepreneur, feedback is free. That's why I post so much. I think we arguing, is this gun good? I don't like that color. I do like the color. Post it. Facts. See what they say.
Listen, All right, listen.
All right,
I didn't know what to expect, but I'm also thankful that we get to wrap up this season with having Daryle come in, because I think this brings together everything that has been said. He's literally touched on, you can go back and watch the previous episodes. He's touched on these things in a way that, you know, you can sense his energy, his passion, but also his experience. I think in 2025, as we're thinking about who to engage with, who to invest in, you have to invest in people with the experience. Yeah. That is going to be way more valuable than the education, because there is a difference. Huge. People can get up there and talk about whatever they want to talk about, but if they haven't experienced it, they're not going to be able to drop those gems that are priceless. Like emotionally responding to entrepreneurship. If you've never owned a business or had to start a business, you don't know what the emotional roller coaster is of doing that. The barriers you have to, like, all those pieces. So again, I appreciate you coming in. We're going to wrap it up soon. But what we love to do is we love to talk money at the very end. So we have these Let's Talk Money cards. If y'all are ever interested, I'll post a link for y'all to go buy some. Let me shift these. One of the reasons why we started doing Let's Talk Money cards, because we want to bring back and normalize having conversations about money, no matter what it is.
Please. In our community, please.
Yeah, because at the table, like my kids, like we've had to put ourselves in a space where talking about money is cool, right? Looking at my budget is fine. Hey, Dad, I see that you made a mistake. Yes, Dad makes mistakes still. Even though I can stand up and talk to people about money experiences, I fall short all the time, and that's okay. But I'm comfortable, confident, and knowledgeable about how to get myself on track, because I got amazing people in my life that also assist too. That's the same process with business. That's the same. That's everywhere. That's a copy and paste model. But let's get to one of these cards. I'm going to let you, here, you grab one and then just hand it to me and I'll read it.
Oh, man, the pressure. Let's go with this.
All right. Ooh, shut up. Okay. What is the most expensive thing you have ever bought and why? And you can't talk about that level.
Man. Cut the camera.
Oh yeah, we want to. Let's hear this. It's gonna be good.
All right. I gotta filter my answer because my wife gonna watch this.
Okay, do what you gotta do. You got.
No, honestly, man, because you know there was times in my life where money was just flowing and I was just whatever my heart desired.
Hey, you want another card?
Give me another card.
Yeah, we go.
Man, I cannot.
Hey, I love him.
I cannot. I cannot. My wife is gonna watch this.
Hey, oh shoot.
Give me that.
What's the most expensive? Now play.
Bruh, I'd have had to get up.
What side hustles have you tried or interested in trying?
Oh man, listen. If you go, I got it in the notebook, but I'm gonna blow it up big for 2025. Okay. I have every business that I want to start in my life from now till I'm 75. I got it all listed out, and then I got the side hustles to learn if I really want to do it or not.
That's dope.
So side hustles that I've had, I used to do ringtones when that was a thing. Yeah, I had a computer set up in the corner store.
I remember those.
Yeah. I used to do ringtones. When I first bought my truck, I had started a side hustle called Load a Truck. I was moving appliances and stuff for people. One of my homeboys, he got a truck business and he hauls mobile homes. And so I done did a couple loads with him. That ain't for me because long drives that ain't it. Not with a whole house behind you. Man, it's countless, but there's more things I want to do. Like I want to start. I want to sell cars, right? Like one of my goals is to build an exotic car rentals in Grand Rapids, because I feel like our city is booming to the point where exotic cars it's gonna come, right? There's money just getting pumped into the city.
Yep. They got stadiums going up. And
you know what I mean? Yeah. And Turo is already a thing and all these things. So I just want a fleet of just exotic rentals that we could do. So shout out Matt MVP down in Miami. I reached out to him because he does what I want to do. I figured out ways to add value, sent him some referrals to friends who was in Miami.
Yep.
And he been schooling me on some stuff. So shout out to Matt.
That's good.
But man, so much stuff that I want to do because I believe in trying stuff. Just try it. Like, and if we gonna fail, we gonna fail.
Yeah.
Like, yo, it's what we gonna do.
That's facts.
So man, side hustle, man, don't get me started. I am the
side hustle king. Yeah, this gonna side hustle king.
My friends will tell you, my friends, my family, my peoples, they'll tell you like, if I'm not known for nothing else, I'm always known for hustling. I'm always doing something. Yeah. And some people be like, you supposed to focus on one thing, and that's cool because the focus is that.
Facts.
But that don't mean I can't do nothing else.
Facts.
And especially if something come up, man, my transmission went out. My transmission in my truck was $6,000. Trust and believe I was side hustling, whatever. Y'all need, how much is these shoes reselling for? Let me,
facts.
You know what I mean? Like, we not going to just dump that out the savings. Not if I can make it.
Facts. Yeah, I think that's the key when we talk about side hustling is to, I used to use side hustling as a means to like survive and all these other pieces. But once you start to build your business, that's what the side hustle is for.
Yeah.
And the other part that you were saying, with your list of businesses and side hustles to test them out to see, like side hustles shouldn't be treated as the only option. Man, it's on the side.
It's on the side,
that's real.
Like, it's okay to experiment, and that's what I'm trying to build wealth for. I want enough money where my kids can experiment.
That's facts.
I want them to be able to test it and get it wrong, and it's okay. It was only $1 million. Daddy got you.
Okay,
that's what I'm trying to be on.
Yeah, here we go.
You took him. I mean, think of man.
But no, that's facts.
When Donald Trump said that his dad gave him a small $10 million loan, people got mad. I said, that's the dad I want to be.
Facts. Yeah.
Because $10 million, you trying to build something here. Come on, man. What father? But that all ties into my faith, right? Because God is my father. And if he has the riches beyond what I could ever believe, I want to be that for my kids. I want them to feel like, man, daddy can do anything. Because we can.
So what Daryl's saying, he wants to be the last generation to start from scratch.
Man,
that's our motto here at YMF. The organization that I started.
Last generation.
Hopefully y'all seen the commercial earlier. If you haven't, you rewind the video. We'll have it in.
Yeah.
But let's end with this because you've dropped so many gems. I've been picking them up. I'm gonna go back and watch this, take my notes, and I'm definitely following up because as soon as I seen you, I said it's finally happening. I gave that down because again, I watch. You know what I'm saying, and I admire and I appreciate. And you've been that person. I'm like, I love his motivation, and the high school thing was hilarious. So
man, that's love, bro.
So we gonna end with this. Like I give everybody an opportunity to ask me at least one question. I have to answer it. So hopefully it's a good one. But what question would you like to ask me?
So I was thinking about it.
Oh, shit.
I was thinking about it.
Lord.
I had a funny question, but I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna ask you a real impactful question. For somebody who is probably watching this and they like, man, they gave me some game, they gave me some gems. I want to get on this path. But life is in the way, right? Because I went through this as an entrepreneur. Like my brother got killed last year. Things happened in fact. My wife just lost her grandmother. Life just is happening, and you're trying to stay the course, but life just keeps happening. What do you do when life just keeps happening, even though you waking up every day, you getting the workout in, you prepping the assignments, you got your goal sheet for the day, and then you get a call, the wife crashed the car, you get a call when life just keeps happening? How do you stay focused?
So I love the fact that you just asked that question because for these last 3 weeks, life has been happening. No, I'm so serious. Like, shout out to my daughter who's behind the computer right now, controlling the buttons and keeping us, switching cameras and all those other things. But she's been observing that. She moved into my house 3-4 years ago. I got custody of one of my younger kids when she was 3. So I love my kids. I got a little village, and they've been seeing dad just navigate a lot of BS. One of the things I can say is I used to think that was normal because growing up I had to navigate a lot. One of the things I do now that I didn't used to do before is practice emotional intelligence. And what I mean by that is, and I used to yell, lash out, get frustrated, shut down, cancel stuff, like all those things when life was happening. But now I appreciate the fact that we've all been given one life, and life is supposed to happen. And for me personally, it's supposed to happen to test the relationships, the faith, all these things that I'm supposed to stand on, to test that. Because we all stand on something, right? But to know if we really stand on it is to be tested. So what I encourage people to do and what I had to do was make sure my foundation was strong, because when life happens, I have to stand on it. And when I say my foundation is strong, I'm talking about my mindset. The amount of motivational stuff I used to watch, listen to every single day to shift my mind to now I can recall Stop Crying by Ray Lewis.
Right.
Where I got to a point where I didn't like physically cry, but I used to always complain about everything that was happening in my life, and it slowed me down. But then I'm like, these things are supposed to happen. And God forbid, I think the win is what we struggle with. So we know death is going to happen. The win just knocks the stuff out of us. But to appreciate life differently, I'm like, I'm thankful that I continue to have this life, because I have to teach my kids how to navigate all these barriers. So now I always get this phone call from people. People call me like, how do you always stay motivated? How you always smile? The appreciation that I have of where I was versus where I am now, I have no choice. But it also allows me to look at individuals like yourself and admire y'all, because I'm like, man, y'all walking this walk. I don't know everything y'all go through, but I know y'all go through stuff because I go through stuff. Right. But you still smiling. You still got a love for the kids, the family. Like, I'll be like, and that, I think that draws me to people because that helps me continue my foundation. That makes sense. So I'm like, if you doing it, I should be able to do it. And I should be able to link with you to learn more tools to add to my foundation. Yeah. Just the other day, the thing that I like frustrates me the most is barriers that impact me from doing what I need to do. I don't care what it is. I'm like, why are y'all getting in the way of me doing or being blah, blah, blah. But then I'm like, all right, those are going to happen. Move past it. Love what you're doing. Have fun and smile. A lot of y'all ain't smiling enough or laughing enough. I just sat here and almost busted out in a sweat because this man had me cracking up.
With the cricket teeth. Stop playing with me.
But you got to love yourself enough to know, like, man, we make life even more difficult because we grew up expecting, like, this, like, story. Like, I don't know if y'all watch anime, but anime used to be real deep. So we be like, oh, we got to have this really deep plot just to come out of something. No, man, wake up, laugh, have fun, mess up. It's okay. And I don't want to take away mental health. I don't want to take away. I'm not set that to the side for a second and really think about the things you can control. And once I realize I can control my mindset and how I think and how I access information and put it into my gates, my ears, my eyes, all those pieces, I'm telling you, things shifted from. I used to be the angriest man in Columbus. Like, no joke. I remember I went to a gas station a couple years ago and somebody was like, man, I thought you was dead. Because I was quick trigger. You say something crazy, I'm jumping on you. I didn't care. People would hold guns to my face and try to rob me. I didn't care. My brother had to talk me out of things like that. Hey, man, the shoes ain't worth to take your shoes off. No, I work for these shoes. He gonna have to kill me. But now, hey, you can have here. You can have these shoes. Right, you want another pair?
Right. Stop playing with me.
So it's things like
in
that.
High school, we had one pair. We got 3 pair now.
Facts. So now I just appreciate life so much to know, man, like, through all those barriers, I love my foundation. Like my faith. I may not always go to church, but I am a believer raised in the church. Now, again, a believer. I don't quote scripture. I don't need to quote scripture to know what has been given to me, to know my relationship with God. And again, these are things in the spirit of being transparent allows me to walk the way I walk. You don't have to do this, but I'm thankful that you asked that because it's been really important. And then I'll say this because this is final. There have been people in this community that like call me, reach out to me, and I'm like, that's dope. Because they like, I see what you're doing. Keep doing it. People may say this. People may do this. And they're all black males because when I moved here, I heard there's a crab in a barrel. Black people don't want to help each other out, specifically black men. And I'm sitting here like, damn, I feel like that's everywhere. So like, when does it change?
Right.
And then I get people like Jamal Eddy hit me up.
Yeah.
Ata, never afraid to reach out. Marielle, I always mess your name up.
Don't do my boy like that.
I always mess it up. I'm sorry. Or even Shaq, Dr. Shaq. Shout out to, Dr.
That's my brother. Shout out Shaq.
Reaching. So it's things like that where I start to appreciate. But overall, man, just live your life. We are blessed enough to get this one. And let's just make it impactful.
That's it, bro.
Woo! Okay, so again, I always say this to people, but this is real. We got to get you back.
Hey, bro, I would love to, man. Listen, I would love to, man.
We got to get you back. So in the spirit of that, please make sure y'all go check out all of his businesses. What we're going to do is we'll link it, and then I'll post shorts and stuff out at him. Check him out. Like I tell people all the time, don't hear what we say, experience it. And we ain't saying go buy nothing. Like y'all will figure that out.
Go buy something. Go buy. I'm gonna tell you buy something because businesses in our community, we have to be intentional about supporting our businesses. And the likes are cool, the shares are cool. Yeah. Figure out a way to buy something or send somebody to buy something. Because I get people who push stuff to me all the time. I don't need it, but could I buy that for my niece? Does my neighbor need a lawn service? Like, bro, be intentional about financially supporting your people. Yeah. So, go buy something.
Yeah, so definitely go buy some. I don't want to take away that. But at least also check them out, too, because I think the good thing that he does is he inspires you to buy something, right? Yeah. Because we've all been through that stage. We like, just buy from us. And people like, so why should I buy from you? Just go check them out. You'll see these things that are important. As soon as he came, I was like, my nephew, he more than likely is going to be buying something from you because we've been watching you. Yeah. We know your resume. So again, I appreciate you for coming in.
For sure,
It's been super dope.
Thanks for having me,
man. As soon as you walked up, I said, here he come. We just had, for the first, 60 seconds, he was quiet.
I be trying to be
But
cool,
he woke up, and I appreciate it. So with all love, man, this is our last episode of this season.
Dope.
Count the Cost Podcast. Hey, we'll see you in the next one. Peace.